Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Racing Productions MC and producer. And joining me today is Dionne Bussey-Reeder. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. I'm excited.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it's a pleasure for us to have you here with us today. And the way how we like to start things off here is just having our guests introduce themselves to our audience and letting them know a little bit about your background and experience. So I'll pass it over to
Sure.
you.
Thank you. So I'm Dionne Bussey-Reeder. I am the Chief Executive Officer for the Far Southeast Family Strengthening Collaborative. Native Washingtonian, fourth generation, grew up in Northwest DC and have ventured over into the Southeast side of town, mainly through work and my contribution to the city and the development of people. Had a wonderful opportunity to take a stab at running for city council. Really robust race, unsuccessful in the seat, but very successful in bridging an opportunity for myself to move forward and to be able to do my life's work, which is really purposeful work to elevate people to the next level in life. So
Oh,
that
that
and
is so good.
restaurateur, I own a up and coming restaurant. I'm a previous restaurant owner, um, chair of the DC Housing Authority. So doing a couple of things in the city to help out people.
Awesome, awesome. And of course, we thank you for all the work that you do to
Thank you.
continue building and helping our communities. So let's talk about the FSFSC and how you
Sure.
got involved with it. But even before you got involved, tell me about the origins and everything. So how it all came together.
Sure. So I'm fortunate to have been here in different phases for at least 22 years,
Mm,
honestly. The organization's been around for 27 years. And the way it was founded was based off of a story of a young lady named LaShawn. She was actually a child that was in the child care system, the child welfare system in the city, and she was abused. She was abused at every home she was at. She was abused through the system. And our current director of the Department of Energy was at that time her lawyer, his Tommy Wells. And he represented her and he actually won the lawsuit. And the city went into a receivership, which means our Child and Family Services Department was no longer a subsidy of the city only. It was jointly managed with the local government and the federal government. And in that light, what actually happened, it changed the dynamics of how we cared for children. One
mm,
of the principles that came out of it that we wanted to see we wanted to be community-based welfare services to prevent children from going in the child welfare system. What was uniquely different about Ward 8, the founder members of this organization realized, yes, we had children that were being abused through sexual abuse, physical abuse, and emotional abuse, but the greatest area where we actually saw children being abused was through neglect. And that really was a contribution directly to poverty. So we
mm.
realized many years ago that if families can't afford to take care of their children, then they will go inside the system. So, what do we need to do on a preventive end to ensure that a community can take care of itself, that you have the infrastructure necessary, you have affordable and appropriate housing, that you have opportunities for education and employment and home ownership? Those things had to be put in place. And that's the work of the Far Southeast Collaborative to prevent children from going inside the child welfare system was how
Mhm.
we started. But one of the things that we've always been able to do is really focus on the economics and building the capacity of the community to take care of itself. The real goal is that you want to work Far Southeast out of a job. That's
Yeah,
what you really want to
yeah.
do.
Mhm.
So that's really how it started. I mean, when you think about child welfare, I was with my stylist and I was seeing her maneuver trying to care for me and do my hair and she had a 2-year old and a 9-year old and trying to keep them. I mean, that's overwhelming for anyone. And she's not a single mom, but she has to do what she has to do. Kids don't go back to school the next week. So for her, I'm just looking at that one example 27 years ago, compounded with not having resources, compounded
Mhm.
with not having a grocery store in your own community, all those things
Mhm.
that we see as a luxury, it lacked in Ward 8. So the community came together and came up with this organization. And since that time, our energy has been around not only providing the necessary services to keep children safe, we've
Mhm.
expanded since then into other areas. But the real basis of our work is how do you build up the economic power? so families could sustain themselves and take care of
Mhm.
themselves. So that's really what I push under my leadership. Because like I said, I'm a fourth generation Washingtonian. So I know the disparities across the city, but I also know some of the assets and how those assets are turned into opportunities for families to grow. So that's what I would like to see here east of the river. So that's really what we push. That's how we started. And that's what we've been moving since that time. And I'm excited because it's a great place to be, great timing coming out of COVID or still in COVID for some of us, but really providing opportunities for families to take care of themselves and not have to need any entitlements from a city or anyone else to do what's necessary to sustain their own family.
Certainly, and that independence is so important. To gain that kind of independence and financial freedom, and being able to raise children in environments that are uplifting, in environments that are successful, that leads to further success. So that is really, really, really important work. And so, how do you go about connecting with the community in that way? How do community members, find out about the work you do? How do you interact with the community, and all of that with your work?
We have close to 70 employees here,
Mhm,
and we operate 14 different programs that really
mhm,
focus on community social ills and how do you actually eliminate those and
mhm,
provide opportunities for people to be successful. So, what that looks like, to be quite honest, is really being on the ground. We have a heavy community engagement work that we do, and that's the responsibility of every employee here. Um,
mhm,
some people don't live in this ward, so I make sure that people are involved. People need to see you where they are. So we are not only on Martin Luther King Avenue, but we're in 4 different other communities in Ward 8. So
mhm,
people can have access to our services wherever they are. More importantly, what we do is we make sure that we deliver on what we say we're going to do. Right. And that's important. Why do people want to come back? Why do they refer their friends? Because we deliver. If you come into
mhm.
the door and you have a list of goals that you want to reach, how did this organization help you reach those goals? The other key facet that I think will be, I would like to attribute to success of this organization is really our ability to meet people where they are. And many of my employees that are here honestly were once clients or
Mm,
is in predicaments similar to the clients that they serve. So,
mhm,
you do the work from a head and heart perspective. So you have the know-how to engage, but you let your heart drive you in terms of how you engage. So you're not speaking to people in a way that they're beneath you. You're not making people feel that they're less than, but you're making them feel valued because they took the step and they were courageous
mhm.
enough to say, I need some support. So it's a way that you do it. We call it motivational interviewing. I like to inspire people. That's a part of who I am. So a part of this work is really meeting people with both your head and your heart.
Oh, that is so good. And I know that you're in a new home as well. Uh,
Yes, you're in it. You can see the building here. I'm excited
exactly,
about it.
exactly. Tell me about that, and moving into the new space, and
Oh
what's
my
that's
goodness.
been like so
So
far.
I I can't take the credit. I just was able to cross the finish line. But my predecessor was the brainchild to Perry Moon, who actually decided that it was important that we owned on MLK. And his presentation to the board some years ago, we believed in it. We didn't know how to do it, but we knew we needed to have this space that was owned by a African American nonprofit right here in Ward 8. And it's a beautiful edifice. It's a beautiful space. You see all of this light coming in because the third floor that I'm in is all glass. So
Mm,
beautiful space. It overlooks the entire city. You can see both DC, Maryland, and Virginia from just sitting here in this office. And it started with honestly the board, the favor that we had with our government partners and creating an opportunity to build the building. The city gave us a lot of help under previous administrations. The council member at that time was LaRuby May, who really was an anchor of the collaborative and was important for her that she saw an organization like this in this ward have ownership. At that time, worked with different mayors, Mayor Fenty, then in transition to mayor, working with, Mayor Gray, and then finally, who actually put the icing on the cake for us was definitely Mayor Bowser, with the support that she gave us to actually come into the building. But we are able to stand it up through our indirect resources that we receive through our grants. We do some heavy fundraising to sustain our work and build the operations up, because you got to have money to pay for infrastructure. And it's a space for the community. We call it our community building. We have a training room that actually can seat up to 75 people with all of the state of the art equipment. We also have spaces where you can actually come in for meetings other than the training room, boardroom spaces, conference room spaces, and all of it is really, really fancy and state of the art. I tell them I feel like I'm so aged, because you got all of these neat bars and all these TVs that are synchronized, and people feel like it's a place where they want to come. And I think we always should have places like that, regardless of what is a nonprofit or not. We want our residents that work and live in Ward 8 to come into this place and feel like they are proud to be not only in the building that's owned by a nonprofit, but more importantly, in the Anacostia business district of the ward. So it sets a different precedence. We're now landlords. The Busboys and Poet is our tenant. I'm proud to say, I work for an organization that we have ownership, and not only ownership just in the building, but we have ownership in the way we treat our residents, that this is not just ours, it's theirs. I'm excited about our new opportunity. I think this is the first time I'm announcing it outside of spaces in Ward 8. We were able to partner with Greg Castens, who own Ivy City Smokehouse and The Point, and we're going to have our own restaurant in this building come this fall. And not only are we going to have a restaurant, but we're going to co-own it. So we have 40% ownership, which is what I consider to be how you build a real economic power, so that residents can see this and sustain themselves in the midst of it. So we're excited
Amazing,
about it.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's so great to hear all these awesome, fabulous, wonderful things that you all have all been able to do and get together. This is wonderful, and such a beacon of light in the community. Dionne, tell me some of your favorite things, about the community in Ward 8, the people, the spaces, the
Oh my
places, the
goodness.
energy.
Yes, yes. So it's the soul of the city. I tell people that, we take it for granted, but it really is what I consider to be, there you go, some of the great work that we've been doing with our team. We had a great partnership with DTLR last week. I mean, the children here, the views that are in Ward 8 that are different. The fact that we're looking at not just providing coaching, and for me, what I consider to be coaching and self-sufficiency, but the economic power. We have a new opportunity that we're partnering with the Congress Heights Training and Development Corporation, funded through an opportunity with Chase Bank, that we're doing what we call a SEED program. It's Southeast Economic Empowerment Program, where we're focusing on economic education. And I didn't say financial literacy, I said economic education, because once you know how money is spent and made, you have a different level of respect for it and also obtaining it. So as you can see, we have a robust team of individuals who are out. Those are the type of events that you're seeing now that we literally are doing on a weekly basis to galvanize people. The world is back open, and how do you do this more successfully? Our berry farm, that's our berry farm operation is happening there. Those are some of the residents with the coordinator. We work with 364 families who were once in the berry farm area to actually engage them around how do you come back? How do you sustain yourself? So that's what I love the most, to be honest with you. I love the fact that you have the best views in the city in Ward 8. I also love the fact that people are welcome and they're open and they want more. And having an opportunity to provide that level of support in a time like we're in today, it means a lot to me.
Oh, wow. Wonderful, wonderful,
So
wonderful.
fulfilling my own, what I consider to be my own personal mission and purpose in life.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, how can people find out more and keep up with everything that is going on with the FSFSC?
Here you are. Our social media page at Far Southeast Collab. You can catch us on the website, fsfsc.org. Please connect with us, and we'll definitely send you all of our updates and how you can volunteer, because that's the other piece. We want people to come
Yeah.
out and be able to share their talents with the community. And now that we're merging with a part of Ward 6, it's going to be imperative that we have opportunities that can really move our families for growth and move people back into the ward. We want more people to come back with economic power and what I consider to be residual incomes that they can contribute to the many new stores and businesses and restaurants that are now east of the river.
Certainly, certainly. And we're going to have those links in the description so that
Okay.
our audience can go ahead and click on that and be able to volunteer and be able to learn more. And of course, if people wanted to donate and support in any way,
That's so important.
that is so important. So we will have that there. Dionne Bussey-Reeder, it is so great to have you here with us. It's been such
Thank
a
you.
pleasure getting to
Thank
talk with
you.
you today. And just thank you so, so much for the really, really important work that you are doing in our community. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thanks for always thinking of us and supporting us on this vision and moving us forward. So thank you for the publicity you guys provide.
Certainly. Thanks so much. Those watching, please follow Team Racing Productions at Team Racing on all forms of social media. Click around our YouTube channel and check out our other interviews, forums, vlogs, and more. And while you're at it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most of all, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.